This is a shocking story. Two 12-year-old Wisconsin girls accused of stabbing a friend and classmate 19 times. Police say the girls told them they did it to impress Slenderman, a fictional internet character that often appears in horror stories, videos, and images. Our legal guys are back. Avery Friedman in Cleveland, Richard Herman in Las Vegas. All right, gentlemen, this is so disturbing and upsetting. We do want to say, however, that the victim in this case is being treated, or has been treated, and has been since released from the hospital after those 19 stab wounds. Amazing. Her family says that she's actually getting better every day. So, Richard, the suspects, 12-year-olds, they've been charged as adults with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Appropriate? Should they be treated as adults?
Well, Fred, Wisconsin is a very tough state on minors, and they're compelled by law in Wisconsin to charge them as adults. Now, should that be done? We punish people based on their mens rea, their mental intent, Fred. And here, these two 12-year-olds planned over and over again and carefully calculated this attempted homicide on their friend. They seduced the friend to come. They knew what they were doing. Did they know? Did they
apparently
appreciate their
planning
actions?
it since February.
Yeah, so they knew what they were doing here. They're being charged. The Supreme Court has recently ruled on cases where minors are involved. You cannot give a minor a death penalty, and you cannot give them life in prison. Potentially, on this charge, being charged as adults, they could face 65 years in prison. Is that akin to life in prison without parole? I don't know. These are legal issues down the road. In order to remove it from this court to a family court, they will have to show by a preponderance of evidence that if convicted, they will not receive the same treatment in the state court that they're being tried in. That's the test. I think they're going to be tried as adults, Fred.
Wow. And so, Avery, might their defense attorneys argue that they are minors, their brains aren't fully developed, they were unable to reason or discern the difference between reality and fantasy, and that might be the approach? Might they make a convincing argument to that degree?
Well, I mean, there are 12-year-olds that clearly, as a general rule, are not developed enough to make the sort of judgments that adults make. And if they're being tried as adults, I would suppose that if I were a criminal defense lawyer, that's the argument one would advance. But it seems to me what's especially complicated, we're not dealing with one, we're dealing with two young women who planned this, and I think you mentioned since February. This thing happened last Saturday. So there has been clearly a concerted, deliberate intent to kill their friend. What strikes me is the impossibility, and I'm using that word advisedly, of someone thinking straight. We need a lot of testing, we need a lot of information before this case will ever go to trial.
Yeah, it is disturbing, and it's hard to imagine how this could happen, how it would be carried out, and how in the world it goes forward in the prosecution of it. All right.